Hey everyone, Brandon here to talk a little bit more about our IGN First this month, Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Now there were a ton of incredibly cool details about Monolith's next game that surfaced from the announcement gameplay walkthrough that we all saw. But one of the most impressive things from that video was this sequence right here that was showcasing the Drake. So when I went to Monolith Productions to deep dive into Shadow of War, that's something I really wanted to dig into. Now the Drake is one of the new creatures that can be encountered in both scripted events and totally random out in the wilds of Mordor. The footage I saw behind closed doors showed multiple Drakes appearing totally randomly, locked in fights with orcs and other creatures, and raining fiery destruction on everything. Drakes don't take sides in the wild. Of course, as we've seen, Talion can subdue and eventually mount Drakes. But to do that, you have to break them, using ranged combat. Now headshots can bring the Drake down so you can melee attack it or mount it, which is no easy task, but once you've dominated and mounted the Drake, it will continue to be your fiery friend even if you dismount. Later in the game, you can also use the Shadow Mount skill to teleport and mount the Drake from a distance, which we can see here. But you can also upgrade your Summon Mount ability later as well, to be able to summon a Drake when you want one. That's pretty cool. Riding a Drake turns Talion into a death from above flame machine. Drakes breathe fire, of course, but can also grab orcs or Caragors and eat them to regain health. It's an amazing power spike, since their flames can roast enemies and explode environmental opportunities like barrels, as well as open cages, and you can even charge a meter called Might that eventually allows a Drake to release an explosively powerful fireball. But Drakes aren't the only new creatures in Shadow of War. We know Caragors are back, and Graugs, but this time around there are different subspecies of the creatures. This icy Graug can also be dominated and ridden, and Talion can use its powerful area attacks and hurl balls of ice. There are some more cool things that I can't talk about just yet, but the Graugs seem really interesting this time around. And there are even more things coming. In the big lore interview you can find on IGN right now, I asked Monolith's Vice President of Creative, Michael DePlatter, if they ever wanted to get crazy and include things like Barrow Wights or Shelob, the giant spider. He said they've definitely got more stuff to show at some point, so who knows what else is lurking out there in Mordor. Well, that's a quick look at the Drake and a few of the other creatures you'll run into in Shadow of War. We'll have much more on Shadow of War as part of our IGN First coverage in the coming days, so keep it right here on IGN.